Project Breakalign Research.
With Dance UK on this, the lead researcher.
When muscles switch on.
We have some of the best breakers.
I found out some useful stuff about my body.
We're looking at muscle activity.
I support this project and I think it's a great idea.
I started breaking in 1983, and way back in the days when I started, there was nobody that could tell me anything about what I was going through, basically, when it comes to injuries. Every time I learned a new move, some injuries were included. So also with the injuries, I learned how to prevent them at a later stage. But now, 30 years or more later, I think it's really necessary that the newer generation, that they benefit from all our mistakes, from our knowledge, and that they understand that you can go much further if you don't get hurt.
So we're now creating the Breakalign Method, which is going to be a step-by-step conditioning program which complements breaking. We're trying to analyze the movement from a biomechanical perspective, so looking at the mechanics of the movement, but also from a physiological perspective, because in all exercise sciences, the body has to go through specific physiological demands. So we're trying to look at it from that perspective in breaking, what happens when B-boys and B-girls dance and what is necessary so that you don't get injured when you do the specific movements.
We've been taking a movement and using that as a basis for breaking related moves, and then trying to categorize what aspects of that movement we can start creating our conditioning exercises from. Obviously during that process we're discussing all the different facets of where the movement comes from, how it's used later stage, how it will be used at a complex level, and stripping it back down to its most simplistic form so that we can establish maybe, or even try to establish, a set of exercises that can be universally used.
It's also really important that we start to look at proper experimental research in dance science. So it's great that with the Breakalign Method we're going to have a package of a training program that we can then test and trial with different groups of dancers, and we can start to look at measuring the impact that has on optimizing performance in the breakers and preventing injuries as well.
What injuries do people get? Potentially, why do they get them? How can we then structure a conditioning program which actually prepares the body specifically for the movements which it's going to do, and therefore put it in a condition where it's able to do those with minimal risk of injury?
The Breakalign Method can also be considered an educational tool, and again looking at it from a training perspective, which helps B-boys learn how to get specific moves so that they don't get injured, so that you don't have to actually do the move to learn the move, but you have to go through specific steps that your body is going to be ready to do the move when you're ready to learn it.
We're bringing in lots of really high-level breakers to work with the physiotherapists, dance scientists and other people to make sure that whatever comes out of this is really highly relevant to the art form and comes from within.
As a teacher, as a coach, as a mentor, I've had to co-opt things I've learnt from personal experience, from martial arts training, and just talking to people. But now we're going to have something specifically geared towards what we do, and I think that's a great idea.
So I think Breakalign, when I'm looking at the project, it's something that definitely provides a better future for all the B-boys and B-girls.